This is love, oh, this is love. Grace is upon us, open your hearts. It is done, it is done. Oh, grace is upon us, open your hearts. This is love, this is love, oh, this is love, this is love. Grace is upon us, open your hearts. It is done, it is done. Oh, grace is upon us, open your heart. This is love, this is love, oh, this is love, this is love.
Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to that divine grace embodied, to that omnipresence beyond compare, to that Shiva self, Satguru. I offer these salutations to that Satguru, who is the core of myself, the embodiment of undisturbed peace, without attributes, eternal purity. Oh, Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to that divine grace embodied, to the Supreme Lord Shiva, the pure awareness in the sky of consciousness in the heart. Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. I offer these salutations to that Satguru who is the core of myself, the embodiment of undisturbed peace without attributes, eternal purity. Oh Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. With the Christ heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to that divine grace embodied. Leave each day behind like flowing water, free of sadness. Yesterday is gone, its tale is told. Today new seeds are growing. The time has come to turn your heart into a temple of fire. Your presence is gold hidden in dust to reveal its splendor. Burn in the fire of love. Leave each day behind like flowing water, free of sadness. Yesterday is gone, its tale is told. Today new seeds are growing. The time has come to turn your heart into a temple of fire. Your presence is gold hidden in dust to reveal its splendor. Burn in the fire of love. The time has come to turn your heart into a temple of fire. Your presence is gold hidden in dust to reveal its splendor. Burn in the fire of love. Burn in this fire of love. Burn in the fire fire of love. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe Sham. Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram. Radhe 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 Sham. Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Rama Ram. Jai Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna, Govinda, Gopala, Hare Krishna. Radhe 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 Sham. Jai Govinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang this morning here in Rishikesh, and let me say a big welcome to all who are joining us via broadcasting daily when we have Satsangs here, in order to experience alongside us in real time Satsang here in Rishikesh. Big love and welcome to all who are joining us in this way and all who are present here. And I feel a great love when I am looking and seeing that so many beings come together in search of the clear and irrefutable recognition of who we are. And not all beings at one time will have this urge arising within them. And I can't say that that is a fault. It's just the timing and the play of consciousness. But we are here. We are here. And the forces that determine that all these bodies, these beings will come together at this time, gratitude to that power that arrange satsang for those beings in whose heart it calls and say, come, give attention to this. This is a grand chance to awaken to the very miracle of existence and the eternal joy of our true nature. And how deep that call is received inside us, how far it stirs within us the urge to go all the way, to complete this journey of transcendence, none can say. Let's see. So, welcome everyone to Satsang today, and very good. Someone is eagerly putting hand up there at the back. You coming there? Okay, you come in line together, and then you can still come also with your hand up. You come from the back there. No, this one. Yes, and.
Hey Guruji, already 1 week has passed,
Yes.
and I feel I have to come and put myself in the spotlight with you, because also not to give them space, but there are also some forces who want to put me always away from you.
Yes.
And but underneath there is something else which is more true, or the other things are not true, and just to give light to this, that you see this, and it's not what is really inside of me.
Yes.
And I just try and do my homework to inquire and to look, but until now I have not really found a space where I can relax or where I can relieve. And
Let's do now.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Because I have to say like this, because I present the inquiry in its most simple form, whereby I feel if that openness is there, you're bound to recognize where it's pointing to. And also where you find where it's pointing to is already where I am pointing from also. But this has to occur within this expression of consciousness, which you call yourself. So we can straight ahead demonstrate this, you see. What is the purpose even of inquiry? What is the purpose? What is so good about it that over and over I return to emphasizing the importance, the immediacy, the power of it, to somehow unveil, perhaps first the untrue, to expose that, and to see that even when the untruth is exposed, there's a space which is untouched, which I'm referring and I'm speaking towards that space, that this space is where you are, and ask you to see. So you say you have been practicing inquiry for some time, and could you explain what have you grasped until now, and perhaps what is the difficulty that you experience, why it should still be merely a practice? How much success have you had from it, or just tell me a little bit about it, and then we can see where we can begin today.
I mean, what I can see is when the inquiry is, it's still the mind doing the inquiry. So that there is something which is not attached by the inquiry, and all the things which are going on, actually. But somehow it is invisible. I cannot feel it or touch it or anything.
Okay, that's enough. You give me enough clue. You say that during the inquiry, it is clear that there is a space that even is not even seemingly affected by the inquiry. You see? And while we are together in this space, let's not put your attention and say, well, Mooji's talking to him, just wait until I get my chance. You have to include yourself. You may be one who will really get the pointing while we are still trying. So it is for whoever has the ears to hear it and to follow it, if it resonates with you. It is the same one seeing. So you say, during the inquiry, I can see that there's a space, and by space, you don't just mean space, but there is some realm of some intelligence, spaciousness. It's not an object that is untouched, undisturbed by whatever it is that is appearing in the mind or through the mind. It is seen, isn't it? Would you say?
Somehow there is something. We always say something, but it's not tangible in that
It's
sense.
not tangible, yes.
It's just the inquiry goes, the voice goes, and I also voice it. But
so the inquiry is going on, the voice is going on. Those are perceived. It is perceived that even if you feel, okay, what am I looking for here, and so on. Let's see, we're going to begin now. So even as the words are coming out, they are perceived, isn't it? You see, it is so obvious. The only reason why we scratch our heads about it is because you've never been questioned about it. It is so natural, it's so simple, that then the mind starts to say, let me see now, I've got to go behind. And no, it's very natural. Even your eyes are blinking, it is watched. Isn't it? The sensations in the body is watched. The functioning of the senses, if your attention turns towards them. If I say pay attention to your hearing, it becomes heightened to the taste in the mouth. It's located, it is perceived. Everything is perceived, including your attempt to find the truth also. Even the attempt, the desire, I want to find my true self. Even this desire and the apparent one making this, having this desire, is it not perceived? First the words are spoken, the intention is felt. The intention is felt. I want to, whatever Mooji is talking about or whatever I read in the book, I've come to Rishikesh to make that my experience, isn't it? It's not just we go and read this book and no. It has to become your experience. So that when I speak with you or someone speak with you, you don't say and refer them somewhere and say, if you read this book, if you go and listen to this, watch this video or listen to this audio, you can say, no, I can tell you. Because it springs from your own experience, not from your opinion, because we also speak from opinion also. But this is coming from your experience. And when you speak from experience, it means you can look from different ways. If I have an object in front of me, say this thing here, I don't just have one view. I can look at it like this and look like this. And if you ask me, what's the inside like, I can show you. I don't have to say, well, I think. Because the thing is right here. In the same way, you're able to respond from any line of questioning. As I said before, if you may walk one path to reach the top of the mountain, but when you're sitting on top of the mountain, you can see all paths. You don't have to walk on every path to reach the mountain. You maybe walk one path to reach the top of the mountain, but if you're sitting on top of the mountain, you can see all the paths coming up. In the same way, your experience has to stand the test and to look and see. So this is why I'm pushing now. You say, I am aware of my intention, the thoughts, even the question, who am I? As it is arising, as it appears, already it appears in front of something which is already there. It's fair enough or not? I need to know that you're not falling asleep or something, Amongst this group, there has to be some beings who are so alert that if a chance to be awake come today, it's going to be you. This kind of attention. Just to clarify. So you say, even the inquiry going on, it's appearing in this space. How can you say that if without the authority of your own understanding and seeing? And then you're looking about this space, but the space itself, what you can say about it, I'm not quite sure if what? Say.
I don't see a space. I was looking for an object. Maybe that's a mistake for something.
Okay, so who am I? Because almost all questions are kind of objective questions. What's the size of that, the land you have? How tall are you? So objective questions can be satisfied with objective answers. And pretty much that's our transaction along the line of inquiry about most things. But here you're inquiring not into the objects, but into the subject. You see? And this subject is the subject of subjects. It is such a subject that you, the one asking it, appears as an object in it. I'm giving you too much clue. I don't want you to become lazy, but to move things along and like this, okay? You believe that you are the subject, and that self-inquiry is the tool to take you to the goal, which is self-knowledge, enlightenment, moksha, whatever name you want to call it. You believe in the reality of yourself as a seeking entity, wanting to find the right question with the right help to catch, to find, to discover. So this is what I am. You believe very strongly that yourself in its present position is the fact of your being, searching for the super fact of your being. You see? Something more real than is here. This is kind of real, but it's not completely real. I'm trying to find a complete reality. So in this way, the mind is included, because the mind has been all along present and a participant in all our research. It has made us feel confident that whatever we have discovered has got an objective reality about it, that we can measure over and over and get the same results. Can we make the same approach in self-inquiry? What it means, self-inquiry, is not inquiring into something else, but it is inquiring into the nature of the inquirer itself. We follow or not? So your question is still very much alive for me. You say, I can see what is objective in my perception. I can perceive thoughts, and also the question arising also is perceived. but I cannot perceive.
The ground
Huh?
from where it comes.
The ground from where it comes. Even the word ground can give a little bit. Mind says ground. Okay, that's something quantifiable, measurable, like some earth, the ground from where it comes. Can we find a ground from where it comes? Unless you change the word ground to source. And if the mind is there, the mind is going to try and say, okay, let's see if we can find source. It will try and create a picture of it, because that's the only way it has of producing what seems like an answer. It has to have some quality that says, here it is this round? We found the self, finally, after thousands of years, we found the self. It's pink, and it's round and glowing. Is it going to be something like that? Because if you found the self and it has anything like that, some quality, then at some point you're going to say, actually, it cannot be, because I am here to find it. I still have not solved who I am. So it cannot be an objective answer to this question. If there cannot be an objective answer to the question, what is the point of the question? Mind may ask. I can't find the ground. So I'm going to put something else. You have not questioned yourself. Why? Because you assume you're standing in the core. You're standing in the place looking. So anything, that's it. No, not this one. You think your measurement will be reliable. You have fixed your identity in the position of a person, the one who apparently is making the inquiry, making the questions. Pay a little attention to what I'm speaking now, because here it gets a little bit foggy for the mind. The one who is asking the question assumes the fact of its own reality. Therefore, it doesn't question itself. It thinks it's going to find a greater reality, which is going to free it from its own instability. It thinks this. So here is where I want you to see. That which feels, I am searching to find the true. Is this voice true? The one who is saying, I'm searching to wake up to my true self. Okay? Is this one true? See? Now you may find, well, I'm running out of space to know here. I don't know if I know or if I'll guess here or whatever. Same voice. How do we know who is speaking this? We only know the words spoken, and we assume the identity behind them. I want to find the truth. I've been looking for the truth for 30 years, Mooji. I cannot go another day. It sounds passionate. Oh, I want to help you. And for sure, help comes. Because it is consciousness that is playing the role of the seeker also. In the domain of multiplicity, if you will call relativity, duality, functionality, phenomenality. I don't know if any of these words mean that in the realm of experiencing thisness and thatness, and you and me and God and the devil and heaven and hell and right and wrong and life and death and king and country and all these things, in the realm of knowledge, we are hunting to find the source of knowledge. But the source of knowledge, which is in you, cannot be found as long as you believe in your reality as a part of knowledge. I'm not doing very well. I thought I was making it simple. I'm not sure. It is simple. My predicament has sometimes been, it's like, you want to see your face, and I give you a mirror, and you ask me, how does a mirror work? what's the technique of how to use this? Does it come with instructions? I say, no, just look. Okay? And we are looking. You remember a few days ago I used this example of a statement made by St. Francis of Assisi. What you're looking for is already where you're looking from. Big clue. Big clue. What you're looking for is already where you're looking from. And some people go, oh man, I like that. But still have not understood it. That sounds, that's freaky. That's freaky. I love that. I've got to write that down. But have you understood it? It is a mighty pointer, you see, a great clue. Why has it not worked? You say, I can see, basically if you can see anything, it tends to be objects or non-object. You can see appearances, but it's difficult to see disappearances. Unless in a fraction there's a comparative thing. One time I was cutting the edge in my garden, and there was one hedge that looked out of shape there, and I've been used to seeing this thing for a few years, and then one day I just snipped it and the whole thing fell off, and now I can look at its absence. I was looking before at its presence. In this moment I could see its absence. Some friends came to the door 5 minutes later for tea, and they asked me, what are you looking at? Because I was looking there enjoying the absence. I said there was something here and it's not here and I'm enjoying its absence. I'm sure they thought, what have you been drinking or something? I can notice in that moment its absence because I knew its presence. They cannot see its absence because they never knew its presence. So you can see only in that moment you can see its absence. You say, I look and I can see the thoughts, I can see even the inquiry and the intention of inquiry. I can see, if I'm honest, I've come to be able to admit that I can see my intention to meditate. I can perceive the goal of my meditation. I can perceive my identity as a meditator. Who is watching this? If the intention or the goal of meditation is successful, what will know it? Isn't it the same one who is there before even the intention to meditate start? But it's too easy. It's too easy, isn't it? There's no trust in the obvious. We want to have a result that is different. It is not the question, it's not the answer that's difficult. It's really adjusting to it. You are the answer you're searching for. But with our present sense of identity, we have identified with limitation and feel like that's where my investigation stops. It stops here in this solid place of me. More than me, I don't know. Conditioning speaks. You want to have knowledge, but you are the knower of knowledge and ignorance. Why does that not mean something? perhaps we have to return again. What is your intention? What is your intention when you're inquiring? This is for you.
Of course, that everything disappears, including that everything disappears, including the inquirer, because
that's the intention, or that's the experience?
No, the intention.
That's the intention.
Yeah, he was not there from the beginning, so he is also not an ultimate state.
What knows he was not there from the beginning? That must have been there from the beginning. If you say something was not there from the beginning, you must have been there from the very beginning to know something was absent from the beginning. Otherwise, with what other ability would you have to know what was absent from the beginning or present at the beginning if you were not there? My words are very simple. I am not a professor. It's very simple. What I'm seeing is very simple. Did you say that the purpose of your inquiry, the intention of your inquiry is that everything should vanish?
Yes, to come to a place of stillness.
Yes. You know in what way they will vanish? Because your statement can be right, but only in this way, because there was a famous statement. Also, I know I can take it back to Ramana. Perhaps it precedes Ramana's time, and he also expressed it. When the world is seen, the self is not seen. When the self is seen, the world is not seen. How does that speak anything to you? Does it say something to you? When the world is seen, the self is not seen. When the self, meaning the pure truth, is seen, the world disappears. But you say, but I don't know if I want the world to disappear. I mean, you'd have to exchange it for something pretty good. It's not attractive to search for something which will cause the world to disappear. I'm really not interested in that. I want to find a something and still see my children, still be able to go into my fridge. I still want to be able to watch TV. Or do I have to get rid of all these things? Or not even get rid of them, but just a chance that I may see the self, which means you cannot see the self as separate from yourself. This is what it means. And then the world will vanish. And then what? Become a stone Buddha. So this has to be understood. When the world is seen, meaning when the world is taken to be real within itself, it's real. The very taking the world to be real blinds you to the reality of the self. When the reality of the self is known, the reality of the world becomes merely an illusion. But illusion, maybe some people think, I don't know if I want to know that the world is an illusion. Even that creates some trouble for the personal mind. One lady in Satsang, she stood up and she says, Mooji, I came to see that I am not real in my investigation. But I have a lot of pain when I think my husband is not real. So we laugh at things like this, but actually that was a feeling. Both things are working. It's almost like I'm willing to see the truth, but not if it hurts, not if it takes away my attachments. it does not hurt. The truth cannot hurt you. The truth can only hurt the lie, you may say. But I don't even really want to speak like that, in fact. I don't want to speak like that. Because any woman who has had a child will know that there's pain, the pain of childbirth, labor pains. Doesn't stop women from having children. So I can say that when you are discovering sometimes your attachments, and then when the baby comes, the pain disappears. When the self is recognized, the world, meaning the world, the meaning you give to it, loses power. Everything is there, but it doesn't have the intensity of meaning that presently we might be giving it. Which means also the fear and the big desires, all of that becomes much more light for you. Because you have found the root, the source, as you say, the ground of being has been recognized as not other than what you are. And that is not something that you will understand merely intellectually. It is being experienced. And so beautiful it is that no one who has experienced, has come to the realization of the self, has ever regretted it. No one has ever said, as far as I know, don't want it. Please, I want to go back. If they say that, they have not come to that realization. Because sometimes the mind imitates the self. And then you say, but all these are checked off on my checklist, but I feel completely lost or something. I mean, you have not completed it. None of this at all, none of this would have been made possible were it not for the fact that the mind could imitate the self. It is really the self that we are attracted to, but disguised in many ways to be an object or something like that. Let's start again from where you are. You say, somehow when I look, I see all things. I see the products of the senses, I see my thoughts, I see my intention to be inquiring. I see also that I'm not this. But I cannot, say again now?
I mean, I cannot see this physically, but thoughts are just words.
Yeah, you have the sensation that, you're aware of them.
Yes.
You're aware of them. You're aware of the question. You're aware of the intention of the question, of the investigation. Okay, you are what, by the way, now? Try and establish your identity. You as what are aware of your thoughts? Feel it out.
Yes, I try to see.
Yes.
Cannot give an answer in that sense.
Yes. Well, actually, the fact precedes the discovery. The fact is that whatever it is perceived, isn't it? We don't seem to have a doubt that whatever it is that show up, it is perceived. It is perceived means what? It means that it's apart from you. It's apart from the perceiver. It is perceived as an item, an object or something. You observe its appearance, its sense of presence, and also perceive its absence or its disappearance. Therefore, you cannot be it. Because if you were it, when it disappears, you would also disappear. But you're here to watch all things come and they go. Now a feeling comes and it's very strong. You say, oh my God, what's happening? And then it's gone. But you're still here. So it arose inside your form or as a movement in the mind. And it was experienced in some way, but also the experience and the reactions are also watched, is it not? It is watched somewhere. Its beginning, its duration, and its ending. By what is it experienced? Who is the experiencer? Is the experiencer harmed in any way? Please check, because all these things we're talking is for immediate consumption, immediate checking in. Is it hurt? Has it damaged something? And if it's damaged something, is that you? Now, to really follow through with my question, confusion will only come if you're still identifying with the body and the sense of your person. But by now, you should be able to look and see the body, and your sense of person is only an idea, a constructed self, appearing in a deeper awareness. And now what happened? Frustration? Does any frustration come that?
Yeah, a little bit, of course.
So even if, say, frustration came, that also is perceived. If you don't identify or expect, then these are all just perceived, isn't it? Just perceived. Now a sense of disappointment. But you stay. Don't combine yourself with that sensation. Just notice it, and it too also passes. Usually with the mind is giving a lot of attention to the traffic that's coming in and telling the story of the traffic based upon its own inclinations. We follow, no? Mostly we are speaking about our life as the things that you perceive, and this thing happened, and memory also, this thing happened, and what I'm feeling now is, but you're all looking at these things. But what about that space in which even the functioning of the perception of these events is also perceived? Please, what is here? Or is it that you have no choice about it? That as soon as you wake up, you are compelled into functioning, into watching the movie of life and identifying with it? Are you compelled beyond choice, beyond your will, to identify with the phenomena arising as life? Are you? I'm asking now. Yeah. Because if you were compelled beyond your ability to function as choice, there is no point we meeting like this. You just have to let your life spell itself out, and take whatever reading we are most inclined to take. But because you can direct your attention, simply this, because you can direct your attention to go with your mind's projection or to keep it in the place of observing, that's all you're doing. We follow this or not? You can go and climb Himalayas if you want, sit in a cave naked for 30 days if you want. But at the end, it still boils down to this: whether you are going along with an idea or you stay put and observe it. This is the sadhana of being. Either you feel, I like the sound of that, Well, okay, you want to sign up for the course? It's 30 days. Yeah, I'll give it a go. 30 days, yeah. Because it appealed to your intellect or consciousness, and you decide, yes, I'll go with it. Or you stay back and say, this is also another invitation from the mind. You sense that, not just automatically, not in parrot fashion, but simply you sense, no, it's just as good for me, I'm resting here. Why I say not just rejecting everything that comes from the mind, because another moment may come and something feels auspiciously important, and then feels, yes, it's considered, and you go with it. Or even without being considered, it has such a presence that it determines the fact that it's going to happen anyway. Am I losing you on this one? That's good, good. Every now and again, I step away from my inquiry with you just to fill in some stuff that we're all going to have to just be aware of, and to see how much I'm bringing it back to you. You imagine your power has been taken and has been used somewhere else. And in a sense, it is like that, but only because we gave this power, consciously or unconsciously, to another, into another center. Now I'm showing you that you are just here. Your real power is preserved in the place where you can look. When I speak with you in self-inquiry or anything, it's only because I'm asking you to remain centered in the real place of yourself. I'm not telling you follow your projections, go down the road, unless I see that you cannot be held back. I say, go, you be gone. But if I'm saying you are still here, able to sit here, you can feel mind or emotions arising, or fears, or powerful feelings of attachment, or whatever is going on, some noise is happening, and I'm able to say to you, you're aware of this. It's not really happening to you. It is only coming up out of old tendencies. Just observe. And if you're able to hear this and keep your power in the place of the seeing, all that you'll notice is just passing. It's nothing at all. It's nothing at all. And so much joy will be left in you, and peace, knowing that it is that easy. It is that easy to retain your peace and to break this sort of spell of delusion. So simple exercise, simple pointings, followed. Show me your result. We are believing the interpretations of the mind. The mind says, yeah, I'm stuck. You say, oh yes, Mooji, I'm stuck. So what does it mean to be stuck? What does it mean to be stuck, Mr. Man? It means that I'm lost. I'm lost. You can only be lost from where you intend to be. You're not reached there, you say, I'm lost. But really, you're always here, wherever that physical location may be outwardly. Come. Come at me. Come. If you only had this chance now, you have 1 minute to clarify and come to the end of this, then speak and tell me what happened.
What I experience now?
Yes.
Yes, of course, this voice doesn't stop to tell me. Of course, it speaks to the identity. And whenever there's some joy or something coming up, immediately it turns away.
You know why it speaks to the identity? Because the identity will listen. It has to be that there's nobody there to listen, like thieves in an empty house. It's like fishing in an empty lake. Something is there. Because the customer is there, the salesman will show up. The actors will not go on the stage until the audience is seated. They work together. If the audience is seated and the actors don't go, the audience will leave. And if the actors show up and the audience is not there, the actors will leave. They work together. If there isn't an interest to the voice that is seemingly speaking in your mind, then it would not register that anything happened. Right? So both the voice and the one it's speaking to. Actually, the voice is speaking to the idea you have of who you are. The idea you have of who you are is suffering from its own projections. Watched in the greater space of yourself, which has not yet become obvious to itself, that it's got nothing to do with that argument over there. It is our protection, our meaning who? Meaning the dynamic consciousness, the consciousness which is allowed to be the experiencer and the observer of the life, falling in love with a self-portrait of itself as a person, which is still a form of consciousness, suffering the restricted life of personhood, now wanting to recover, to pull away from this person idea, seeing that the person is not really what I am, and is on the retreat, is the recovering consciousness now, and is feeling stuck along the way. It is still has the bone of personhood stuck in its throat. And every now and again it's coming up. And you say, yes, I can see the mind is saying, yeah, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And it has been a relationship formed, a bad relationship, by the way, is formed. And still we have sentiments for that relationship. I am pointing you to the deeper reality of yourself, that you are that space in which it arises. Are you a self there? You can say you're the self, but it is more impersonal. We love the sense of personhood and we hate it. We love it, but we're still attached to it, addicted to it. There's a certain bush that grows in the desert. It is full of thorns, but it says that the camels love to chew it. Every time they chew it, they are full of blood, the mouth is full of blood, but they can't give up chewing it. Blood, blood, blood. We are similarly addicted, maybe a little bit more elegant in our addictions, but we go back to repetitive things. It's not a blame, it's an observation. We have all felt it. But now asking you, not stop. I'm not saying stop this behavior. No, I'm saying just look. There's a deeper space where your looking emerges from. It is so beautiful that even you're seeing. If you can acknowledge that, you can recognize, you'll be able to exhale a lot of that tension that we carry in the name of personhood. You feel sometimes, I can't even pay attention to you, Mooji, because my mind is not giving me a break. When you're talking, he comes up like blah 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 blah. I can't actually hear you. And then sometimes when I can hear you, he shows up like a scratch. I'm scratching, just to take your attention. Many people, they admit there's a force that is really doesn't want me to be here, really. But that force is not greater than you. Why is it trying so hard? Have you asked, why is your mind somehow, the earth mind or something, why is it trying so hard to throw you off the scent?
Because when you're in your happy state, it has nothing to speak to.
When you're in your happy state, it's not that it goes in the corner sucking its finger. When you're in your happy state, it doesn't exist. It's not that the mind is somewhere waiting. We can put it like that, because consciousness has many ways to express and to be interpreted. And all ways are allowed as potential. It appears as though it's got nobody to play with. Got nobody to play with. So you got 1 minute to finish it now. We have been here at this now, good time now. We have 1 minute to finish Mr. Mind. How are we going to do it? Silver bullet won't work. How are we going to sort the mind? We've been putting a lot of attention in trying to stop the mind. You know how to stop the mind? You stop. You stop giving attention to mind, and he will go by himself. If you try to stop the mind likes it. It thrives on violence, on resistance and suppression and excitement. I'm going to kill you. He loves it. He's a sadomasochist. I only learned this term shortly ago. He loves to give the pain and get the pain.
I can see that he's trying everything to make me believe that he belongs to the picture. That,
yes. Yes. You can only be tempted if you are temptable. Isn't it? You can only be tempted if you are temptable. You see? If you have something that you want, something can come and say, I've got the latest version, half price. Then you'll be tempted. But if somebody came with some second-hand dirty socks, promotion today, Baba, you're like, I give you only 100 rupee. Would you be interested? Maybe. I don't. With some people, we have all kinds of likes and dislikes. I'm not taking anything for granted, I'm sorry, but generally speaking, just to try and sell my example, I don't know. I told you, if you had 1 minute to solve this, you know how you spent your minute? Talking about the enemy, the perceived enemy. You never reach for your strength. He's still doing it, Mooji. He's telling me that freedom is still too far away. You have 1 minute, and you're advertising the enemy. He's so powerful, Mooji. He's so powerful. And the man is going, yes. That is habit. That is habit. 1 minute. Now 10 seconds. You still talk about the mind. And now you wonder how it lives so well. The mind is doing very well. He can live just off the interest. Bing, time up. We even stretch time for you, stretch time. Oh, you use your time. So maybe you go back to your seat, listen how the next one will do with their time.
Yes.
Okay, one is waving behind you.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Was it you who were waving from before at the back?
Yeah, I was waving.
Oh yeah, because even before I said namaste, he was. So it better be
I
good.
really apologize because I know I was too much. I was really too much.
No.
But
You got
tomorrow
my
I'm
attention.
leaving. Sorry, tomorrow I'm
Okay,
leaving.
good.
So I apologize also to my friend behind because I was doing
Yeah,
was
no,
not
it's
really
good.
polite. But
It's good.
sorry.
It's good. It is good. It is good.
So first of all, I want to thank you really very much. Because the very first day I came, 19, I was in your presence, very close to you. This is the greatest gift. And now I have the second chance, tomorrow I'm going. So I come to the point. So when I started to meditate in Pune 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, the first meditation I did was Sufi whirling. Right? And I was so much attracted by this finding center. And then I had a little experience inside myself that while I was doing one technique, my attention falls down from the head to the belly. But was momentary, but strong. Then, after some years, maybe 10 years later, I was in a seminar workshop, and we were working physically very hard, dancing, blah blah blah, and then I was exhausted, and I fall down in the sofa, and I fall down in my belly, and then something happened. My umbilical cord, is right, umbilical cord, like roll down, and then come back, and then by and by I became aware that this is very important for me, navel or something,
Okay.
this area. And I start to practice this meditation, which we call Hara meditation, and Qigong, Tai Chi. Okay, so what is my question? My question is, do you feel that there's something here important, or for you does not mean anything? Maybe it's just my fantasy.
This, phenomenal for me. Phenomenal meaning that I can perceive this. Even as you speak, you say, okay, these meditations, they're fine. And you may continue them even after you wake up if you want. You can still do it, no? Because they bring some joy or whatever or something, no? But while focusing and bringing energy here, that is also a sensation arising in consciousness, which may give some very tangible reactions and experiences, no? But however tangible they are born in time and they die in time. You are not that. You are the weakness of them. And that weakness can perceive innumerable experiences come and go. Find the thing which does not come and go. Because if you practice something here and it feels wonderful and so on, it becomes another strong interest and, when I'm here and it's really, whoa, it's so there and the belly button and oh, it's fantastic. No? Okay? And yo belly button. And it is still will be something phenomenal. It's like, it was great meditation, why you call it was then? Because after a while I got fed up. Now I do a different one, and it will be a different one. What is it that's not a different one? You see? So innumerable experiences can come and they come and go. In the end, you reach a place where any number of them can come and go. And when they come, they may be beautiful. You may enjoy it. That's beautiful. But you are enjoying it in your limitlessness. You'll be enjoying it in your unchanging nature. You'll be enjoying in all of this in the immutable being.
You know why it's so important for me? Because this technique changed my life.
Yes.
Because they ground me. I was so much in the sky, like Sufi, crazy,
Yes.
going up in the sky, and then practicing this
This is
Qigong,
why,
Dharma meditation. I also have been able to find my dimension in the society, to find a job, to make some money.
Yes.
Not rich, but okay. Anyway, but helped me very much. This centering.
Yes, and this is why I say I don't speak against meditation. You may continue them in some form. No, they help to ground.
Yeah.
The sense of your person was more erratic or lightweight, and it helped to ground that being. No, and gradually you found that you could more move with confidence and with a sense of centeredness in society and whatever. These are good things. They're good things.
So now,
and maybe these things are what brought you here to now come to complete freedom now, if that is the appeal for you.
Yeah. Now, what I'm asking, Sufi, they are talking about remembrance of the self.
Yes.
You were also talking last days about be aware of that your presence, no? That exercise, you was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
So now I'm saying, there's one technique, which is remember your hara, whatever you do during the day. So you are working, you stay in the center. You talk to somebody, you stay in the center. I'm talking to you and I stay in my center. It's a kind of remembrance of myself.
Yeah. Yes.
So this can be a technique?
Yes, it is a technique. It's a technique. I said once, and I would like to repeat now, I said this thing, I am, before the idea that I needed to remember myself or that I could forget myself was believed. Again, I am, not I personally, all I am. I am, before the thought or the concept that I needed to remember who I am or that I could forget who I am was believed. Contemplate a little bit what it means. We learned or became conditioned to believe you could forget yourself, and so you had also now got to develop a training to remember yourself in order to find that you're always yourself, isn't it?
I get lost very easy. If I see a beautiful woman, I get lost.
Yes.
Beautiful shape, I get lost.
Yes. You would really get lost if you became the beautiful woman. Then you say
Sorry?
you're lost. You say, I get lost. You get lost in fantasy or what?
No, I mean, I get lost. I mean, I go out of myself because desire comes.
You better not drive then.
I better.
You better not drive a car. You're driving, you see a beautiful woman, you go out. You're going to be very dangerous.
I drive scooter in my
drive
town.
Scooter?
I go very slowly. I'm smart. I go very slowly. I look here and then.
I think you need a 3-wheel scooter. I don't know. This sense of going out or easily distracted, you see, easily distracted, you know, it can change also just with even with inquiry. If you keep looking and seeing what get distracted, because we are talking about the movement of attention, where the attention goes. And attention is so much your intimate power that when it moves, you say, I move. The attention moves. The attention is not really I. You see? When the attention moves, we call that experience, whatever it touches. No? But I call you to look and see that something is earlier than attention, that even watches attention. Therefore, you can say, my attention is a bit restless today. So something watches the restlessness. If you sit with that for a moment, it will begin to reorientate to readjust the way the psyche is, and you may find that actually, even when there's a sense of distraction, you don't buy into it. You're aware of that, and you stay in the true center, you may say, in the heart, like that. So these things can also change, and will change also. You don't have to particularly target that. You may start there, but it may take you to a much greater place.
And okay, last thing is. So you were talking during these days about be aware of ourself, or kind of self-realization, no? Self-realization. And yeah. Okay.
What I point to becomes obvious in a short time. You must be willing to give a little time to that, to really stabilize your understanding in it. But once it is clear, you cease being a practicer. The practicer also is absorbed in it. So therefore, it's not fair or clear to say, I'm practicing this. If it is needed, self-inquiry comes into play. But I cannot say every day I'm inquiring, who am I? That says, hello Mooji, yes. Who says yes? No, at a certain point, just like you don't have to go out every day and remember your name. If your name is Patrick, I'm Patrick. And somebody goes, George. No, I'm Patrick. You don't have to do that. It is, and you're not even remembering that you're Patrick. You're just moving. Someone says, Patrick. Yeah. So were you remembering you're Patrick? It's there in the immediacy of the consciousness. And in the same way, you will not have to say, oh, let me check in, and when I go back to the consciousness, then I'm okay. These words will become redundant, simply because you've been checking in and realizing that you've been holding on to some wrong notions about yourself, and that you've always been here as consciousness. You've been calling consciousness a person, and then living in the mode of a person, and saying, oh, I want to get back to consciousness. That's what you will see.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Yes, you're happy inside with this?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, little. Last thing. Last thing is, I am very much attracted by people who are in the center, blah, 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 blah. But then I saw you, I was in your presence, and I saw you walking around and showing your love to every human being. Blah. So my question come. Maybe the center is not here. Maybe the center is in the heart.
The center is everywhere.
Yeah.
Let me explain like this, because it is a good question you ask, actually, because for those people who feel that they need to be always meditating and always locating where the self is and keeping their attention on the self, and maybe for a while we will need to do this. But gradually, even with this attempt to do that, some maturity is taking place very, very quick, very powerfully, very deep, and it may not even occur to your conscious mind. But something is changing in the way, in the orientation of your behavior, in the way that you look, and somehow it is just so universal, so broad, that you may only come to know of it spontaneously. As you're moving, you come to find, wow, this is new. You see, it's not that as something changed, you go, oh, that's changed. No, you come to notice that something has changed when a life situation reveals that, oh, I used to get very angry when people say that, but now I feel completely okay. You discover, you see? This is the kind of maturity that comes not just by doing single thing practice, but staying into the position of being. At first as an exercise, until the exercise becomes redundant. There's no one there to stay in it. It is just it. That's what the exercise brings you to no exercise. And thereafter, somehow it's so integral, that understanding, that there's no practicer of it.
When we go beyond the technique.
When you go beyond the technique, at first, technique is required to discover that there's no technique. Technique is employed in order to come to the realization there's no technique in the being. That is successful sadhana. You're doing a lot of practice to come to the understanding that you're not a doer. And so what happens is that love expresses itself, wisdom expresses itself, peace expresses itself, but it doesn't express itself as a doer, like, oh, I am loving all these people or something. It's just happening. Like the sun is shining, but the sun is not shining. You know, it's there, and sunshine come. You are here, and the self radiates a certain you may call a field of, or some kind of ambient, some sort of peace, or radiate something. But
sometimes I like this zazen, just sitting.
Yeah.
Zazen, because I practice many techniques for years. No, then sometimes I really like just sitting.
Yes.
Not doing nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Zazen.
Sitting, doing nothing, you will not know as zazen, you call it, no?
Very good, zazen.
Yes. It's best you drop the name even. Because if you're doing nothing as zazen, you're doing something. You're doing zazen. Isn't it? And then even you cannot sit and do nothing. So it's like, what you're doing is zazen. It has to be.
Okay, but sometimes when we speak, we have to use words. Otherwise,
I still hold to my point.
Yes.
Yes.
How could I tell you?
Yes. No, because it's based upon what you express, in the way you express it. And you say, because of the concept of zazen. And then, so, a lot of people are sitting in nothingness, but they don't think they're doing zazen. If they think they're doing zazen, then they get disturbed, now my emptiness is disturbed now because I broke my zazen concentration. So zazen beyond the concept of zazen.
Okay.
That is good. Yeah, very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
hope to see you soon.
Yes. What my pointing was, maybe the significance of it is actually that at a certain point, one returns to your natural state without feeling that, it's like someone saying to you, act naturally. Suppose someone says to you, friends are coming, just act naturally. Then you start to do things that... they've blown it for you completely, because then you are completely not natural, you see. If you say, act naturally, and then, and you pick, oh my God, then I have to, If you put a camera on someone, then suddenly they start to do things like this. Some people, it makes no difference at all. They put camera anywhere you want, and they're okay. So in a way, sometimes when the practice becomes too much the thing, the practice becomes almost a goal, then it chokes itself. It points to something, then you have to, it points to it, then you have to forget about it. It points to it, then you come to an intense focus, and then you have to forget about it. But don't be a forgetter about it. Mind's very clever, is it? Like that. Naturally, in self-inquiry, what you discover is effortless. So there's not somebody left over, somebody being effortless. It takes out the somebody. If there is a somebody, that somebody is causing trouble. It's the only one that's causing trouble all over the world. It's the same guy. He shows up in old people, young people, in the dog, in everybody. It's the same guy. You see? All we are talking about, actually, in awakening and realization of the self, is how to lose this guy. One time you used to go with him like this. Sometimes you go like this. And after a while you start to go with him like that. And then sometimes you're trying to run from him, and he's kind of running along with you like a shadow. And this is one of the ways that he's removed, or surrendering, keep surrendering this association and so on, surrendering to the supreme power and falling in love with God and this. Or you inquire into and see that it's just my mind. It's just the mind. It is always just the mind. And there's something other than this entity kind of person, mind, in whose light all that is seen. And there's nowhere to go with that, but it cannot be anything other than yourself. As long as we persist with the identity of the person and taking the person to be real, then our troubles will feel real. Our sense of separation will feel real. And for every state of mind or consciousness, the Supreme has provided a door through which it could enter back into the heart. For every being, there's a way to re-enter the heart, even for demons. Thank you. Very good. Okay. How about we try something like 5 minutes? You got 5 minutes. Which is quite a long time. 5 minutes. Okay? Next one. Who? Come to the microphone. Yeah.
Can I come to you?
Let me see. Start with the microphone and we will see how it works.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, I'm not a seeker anymore.
Mm-hmm.
How can I seek something in me?
How can you seek something in you?
Yeah. Because I brought it here already. It's already here. So that's my point now.
If you brought something with you, it's not you.
I mean the I,
Yeah.
not the person I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Because I had an experience before, and that was like, it happened so effortlessly. And I was not thinking, I had no ideas. I was just full joy. I was experiencing full power. And then I swing back to my personhood.
Yes.
And then I went through the dark night again.
You went back to?
I went through the dark night again.
The dark night, okay.
So then afterwards, then yesterday I was I was like, how can I seek it? You know, I stopped being a seeker. I just want to be here.
But that's seeking.
Is it?
Yes, if you want to be here, it means that you're not yet
No,
here.
maybe
So-
I didn't put it right because
Okay,
I
try
don't
again.
have desires. I have no intentions left. I have no ideas left. I just don't know.
I think you have no idea that you have no idea. You have no idea that you have idea or you don't have idea. You see, you understand what I mean by this?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
you have an idea that you don't have an idea.
No, it is like empty. I have no thoughts coming. When the feelings come, they just are temporary and then they just go away.
Yes,
That's all I am going through.
yes. Then you would not even care to mention them.
Sorry?
You wouldn't care to mention it if it flows like that. That thoughts come, they go even, and you don't register or hold on to them. They're not even worth mentioning. They didn't even happen.
The thing is like this swinging between this personhood and my experience. This personhood is like a facade of my consciousness, which I
Yes.
created, and I don't know how to drop it. That's the thing.
Yes,
Because it's also a part of the consciousness,
yes.
and I'm aware of it. And this awareness, I don't, like you said, awareness is, if I put my awareness to this personhood, it just grows.
Yes.
But I don't, I am aware of that. So this is my point. How can I drop this personhood knowing this?
You can only be troubled by something if you have interest in it or it has a meaning for you.
Actually,
Listen. You can only be troubled by something if it has a meaning for you or you have an interest in it. In the same way, you don't have to transcend something that has no meaning for you. It doesn't exist for you. So why would you have to transcend something that doesn't exist for you? You see, how does a thing come to exist for you is that somehow you have a certain belief in it, an attachment for it, and a relationship with it. And then perhaps the relationship is not working well, it's bringing trouble,
Yeah.
and then you want to get rid of it. This is how it works. And then when you want to get rid of it, then you find, wow, it's not so easy to get rid of the thing because somehow my habits keep going back to that thing. You see? Let's put it another way, most things in the world is not a problem for you.
no,
Most
it
things
isn't.
in the world is not a problem for you. You have no specific interest in them, even though you can see them completely clearly in infinite detail, but you don't have enough interest to kind of press save and hold on to it and, oh, I really want to keep this. You've not developed too much sentiment around it, so you can move in the world very freely because of that. If you could imagine that each thing that you saw would just register itself in your mind, then you'd be deeply unhappy and you would die in a very short time.
That's what I was hoping for, because after this experience, I wasn't showing any interest in anything.
Yes.
Outside world, no interest. I have no interest.
Many people here also have had this experience, that they had a visitation, they had a moment of clarity or an awakening or an illumination, and while that happened inside them, they totally lost interest in so many things. They also became fearless, have no fear, just totally full of joy and so on.
Exactly.
And then?
and then.
And then I said I could make a very big book called And Then of these experiences, because people experience for a while, they feel their life is full of grace, they have no ego, they think of something, it seems to happen, they think like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the old patterns seem to be coming back in, creeping back in, and then they start to think like they used to think before, like the old regime has come back. And then, oh my God, oh no. And we feel, what did I do wrong? It was perfect, and then something went wrong. Please help me. What did I do wrong? I said, you did nothing wrong. This experience had to come by grace, and it triggered within you, okay? First of all, you came to know, not just believe. You know that it is possible to be free.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
It's not just a belief, it's not a projection. The second thing is that there must exist in you and continued existing in you the aspiration to be free. If you just felt it and ping, you're free, and in a short time, you'll go back, it would have no value for you. And so sometimes it's not such a bad thing that this tremendous experience, perhaps the most significant and important experience in your life has come, whereby you realize that, my gosh, like for some people, they realize that there's no difference between the stars and the water and a rabbit and the flowers and my mother and myself. And it's like there's a unity there.
Actually, I'm grateful for that.
Huh?
Actually, I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
That hard experience, I'm grateful. All I can say was thank you.
Yes. But it changed.
Mm-hmm.
Something else came in and took your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that this attention in you is still a potential to again go back to sleep. When you have the experience of awakening, and now it becomes your inner experience, there's an urge in you. It develops such a powerful surge of power in you to retain, to reconquer, to get this state again. And all the while, it's building up your resolve, your aspiration. All this has to grow because your mind will keep coming back with things.
Yeah,
and
it
then
is checking me.
gradually you go back to the way of the mind and you find you're asleep again. And then you are speaking about this experience as the past. I had this experience in 1989, I had this experience in 2005, I had this experience 2 months ago, and it was so wonderful, so wonderful. I want to have it back. I said, no, don't try and get it back. Try and see what it's showing you now, because your eyes are opened in a new way. You don't have time to tolerate insignificance or things which are not worthy to give your attention to. You start to grow in innumerable ways, and the aspiration has brought you like that. Then when you are sufficiently mature or receptive in some way, not according to your own mind, but by the law of the cosmos somehow, you are brought into a higher possibility to flower in a more permanent way. It works like that.
The thing is, I had that call you were talking about. I didn't know about you before.
Yes.
I heard you, and then I watched a satsang. Then I came.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yes. Now that you're here, avoid making any conclusion about anything you experience. Put off making any premature conclusions about what you're experiencing. Stay open in a state of neutrality so that the work of grace can continue. Because it's not that you have got to do a lot of head work so much, but now sitting in this energy field of satsang and somehow allowing the inner forces to raise to higher states of consciousness, to become grounded in your true position and nature. Because if you start to think, okay, I know what's happening here and this, then you bring the mind in, and then it will slow down, in a sense, your deliverance, if you want to put it like that. You start to bring the mind in with opinions and stuff which you don't need. Just be very quiet, keep quiet, and pay attention to where my words are pointing, because always I'm pointing you back to your quintessential nature, your essential being. And just follow inwardly and see, but I'm here. I'm here. And then when you're there, I have a few little questions for you. And you'll use these questions to confirm yourself.
Yeah. All I know is when I'm not, I am. This is this is how I'm feeling. When I am not, I am.
Yes. You know what it means? What are you saying in another way? When I personally am not, I as presence am. You see? When I personally am not, when I personally is not in ascendance, you see, then what I am as true presence, I am. This is this thing. Like two kings will not go and sit on the same seat. If you make your mind a king, then the real king will let you do this choice in the play of life and transcendence. No?
Yeah, I on Sunday you were talking about if you have an emergency that you don't want to come back, like if you want this to be the last one. I just feel that.
Yes. Not everybody feel like this. People have different ideas. Sometimes we feel we are more attached to life in the present way of conceiving life than you say you are attached to truth. You see? Sometimes we're more attached to life in its biological continuity than we are attached to truth, than we are attracted to truth. And I make a distinction there. I also say that the common-minded man, looks for every opportunity he can to live. The spiritual man looks for every opportunity to die to what is untrue, what is unreal, so that he can reawaken, resurrect as timeless existence. So it is not just about, how long a life we have, but that you use the life to find truth. And some people would feel, if I'm going to reincarnate again, I'm happy about it. It's like more life, longer life. And I don't mind reincarnating for as many lives as possible because I love life. That is your delusion. First of all, you don't know where your next life will be. You don't know. You see? But by the time it comes, you'll forget this day. And everything will feel right. As it is now, in relation to your previous life, if you believe this thing. There was a life you did not want to end. It ended and now you're here. Maybe you can look at it like that. You don't want to go back there. So, I feel that another way of putting it, I don't want to, if I had to reincarnate, if you want to use this expression, I don't want to come back as an ignorant person.
That's it.
You see, if I'm to come back in wisdom, I don't mind, it doesn't matter, I have not changed. But if I have to come start A, B, C, D in the ego again, the ego A, B, C, D, E, it's unbearable, I don't want that. If you're awake, you're not going to come back unawake if you're feeling this notion about coming back. You see? So I feel it is the statement that comes from the awakened heart would speak like that. I don't want. Or maybe that whatever.
With the power, whatever applies. When I experience full power, whatever applies.
Yes. I don't know any more fuller power than discovering and being yourself. If we can use the word power, because it has been used in other ways, but power would be, for me, the power to be yourself. Not to be yourself. Power to cease becoming what you're not. Maybe that's another way of putting. To cease becoming what you're not. you know. There's a short story I recall that one of the girls from Satsang, she was walking in the park, Brockwell Park in my park. She went walking one afternoon and she came back to the house and she said, it's amazing, I met this girl today. She saw one girl, I don't know if she was dressed like Hare Krishna or something, I don't know. This girl looked very, very happy, young girl, so beautiful in happiness, being there. So she was attracted to this girl and she went to her and says, "Hi, how are you?" And she says, "Oh, hi," and very nice, like this. And she says, "Oh, you are celebrating something, or you look so happy, it's so attractive, And she says, "Yes, I'm happy because my teacher told me I've only got 5 lives left to live. I only have 5 lives left to live." So the girl from Satsang says, "What? 5 lives more to live before you're awake? I could not entertain the idea of having to wait 5 more hours. My being is not able to feel comfortable." And she's flowing. 5 lives to live. So mind can take many shapes, make many shape. And for some reason, it has assumed some shape that has met with our approval largely to have survived for so long.
Even a day is too long for me.
Only if the ego is there.
I mean, I'm burning. I feel like a burning in my heart.
Yes. Then this burning, if you take it in the right way, then you will not have much tolerance for the egoic identity at all, you see?
I have no patience or tolerance left.
Yeah, it's good. One man came and he says, "I am so fortunate because I've been with 5 gurus. So fortunate." So I asked him, "How did you survive 5 gurus?" I wonder, are they friends or what? Your guru is not your friend. He's come kill you. How you survive 5 of them? Maybe they have very luxurious lifestyles and you are supporting or something. How you can survive them if your heart is just pulsating for truth. And it is growing, Not as some fantasy trip. It has to come organically out of your own being with what we are sharing here and looking, and it may have started from your YouTube, your search has started in so many ways. You had to find something, and it's directed by grace somehow that you would find the thing you most needed. When I first came to India, I came with only one desire. I didn't know because I don't read many books and nothing like that. I came only because I read one book, The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And before this book, I had found a book of Ramana Maharshi, but I couldn't relate to it. Who Am I? It was called. Little book, because I always look for little books, who am I? But I couldn't relate to the language, It felt intellectual for me, and I just couldn't conquer it. I even thought that there was a mistake made in the printers, that they put the wrong cover on this book. Because on the cover of the book was this picture of Ramana. So I said, open the book. Oh my God, what's that? Who am I? I'm not the body. Oh my God. Found Ramakrishna book, and Ramakrishna spoke to me in those days. My heart, I was so full of joy, crying every night. So hot. Love Ramakrishna. I came to India. I came Rishikesh, actually. Maybe that's why I keep coming back here. Came Rishikesh. And destiny had it that I would meet Papaji, not in Rishikesh. I remember coming up from Ganga one day, and we got to the top of Laxmanjula, just on the platform where that's as far as cars can go, up there. And I was coming up with some friends and some people car stopped like a taxi, and they called, come, come. And one of my friends, a local friend, went, and they were asking directions for something. And a man looked out like European from the back of the car, Indian driver. And back of the car, European man looked out and at me and says, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, good, nice to see you again." So I know I didn't know this man. And then after, a female head looks out, European. "Hey, nice to see you, man. How you doing?" I said, yeah. A big mistake. My other friends were saying, "You have a twin brother in India or something," and like this. And then they went to hotel. When I got back to my hotel, they also was checking in the same place. And they said, "This is suspicious. Let's have dinner tonight." Okay. At dinner, "Have you heard of Papaji?" "No." "Punjaji?" "No, not heard of him." "Okay, I show you a book." Then they brought Wake Up and Roar. I'd never, nothing, know nothing about any gurus, nothing at all. And my intention was to go to Dakshineswar in Calcutta to visit Ramakrishna's place. I have not made it till this day. Because somehow it was programmed somewhere I was going to meet Papaji. Meet Papaji, then Papaji introduced me Ramana in the correct way. And then look what happened. So, why did I tell you that? I don't know why I told you that. Don't remember. Anyhow, it's okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Where are we now? 2:19. 5 minutes, 5-minute job. Anybody who's come? Who? You know? Okay, come then. Are all these people going to the toilet or what?
Like this. Okay.
Hi.
One question and one statement. I'm not going home. I'm going home the day after tomorrow. Not going home to feel again or to have again this, you said interest. Now I know that I have interest in worries, in sorrows, in despair. So that's why I'm indulging it, right? So that's why I'm here now. And my question is, I can see the place that is unchangeable. But if I can see it, there is the one that sees it. So it's still dualistic, no?
Okay, let's come again. You can see the place, you say, where did these people come all together? What is happening here? You can see what happened?
I can see the place, this silence that is there all the time. I
Yes.
don't see it all the time, but I can see the place. I can sense it.
Yes.
I know this place, but there is still me that knows it.
Actually, you don't know it in a way. There's a sense, there's maybe a glimpse, maybe there's a fragrance, but you have not really entered it. There's maybe a fragrance. You're warming up. You're just beginning to feel it, and the mind says, "Yes, I know the space there," and it's beautiful, it's empty, ha, 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 ha. Thank you very much, leave it over there. But here I am, and in this life, I, who feel that space, can go to that space sometime, but I find myself often in the space of worry and creating, sort of thoughts that are not really in service to happiness and so on.
Yeah, and there are seconds, I don't know if this is what this space means when this is what there is. There are maybe seconds that I feel like it's a big wave that taking me, and then I see that I had some experience. I don't know if it's this, because I don't know in that second what happened. Do you understand?
I'm going to ask you not to retain any of these impressions in your mind for a moment, and just, these summarizations. And don't think you know yourself or talk about your condition too authoritatively, because they're just kind of notions in the mind. If you can for a moment just leave everything aside. Okay, it might be there, but you're not engaged with it at all. So you're not using anything you've told me as a reference for who you are anymore, as from this moment. So whatever you say about yourself, I'm not going to accept it. Okay? Or what you want for a moment. So we're not going to accept it. You say, leave that out for a minute. Because I want to speak to a place in you that normally you're not consciously speaking from. So whatever you've told me about yourself, this is the kind of person I am, this is what I tend to do, I'm going to say thank you for saying that, but we're flushing it. And all the other things about what you want to done, what you do, your inclination, who you were before you came here, what you expect from this meeting, what would be nice to happen, finish. Leave everything. You can do it, and anyone else who cares to join. Don't make any reference for yourself. At best, we use these things as a starting point to go in. But I'm not holding on to this as a reference for you, because it is not worthy of you. Your present notion of yourself is not worthy of who you are. Okay? So I'm just going to leave that for a moment, and I would like to invite you to do the same. Just leave that. Leave everything. Leave everything that you can see. If you remember, oh yes, there's another thing. Yes, and that other thing also I don't want to know. You can do it. And when you are empty of intention, don't even put them over there to save them. Just leave everything for a moment. Leave everything for a moment. So let's imagine that in order to come here and to meet together with me, that we had to do a certain kind of examination where you had to just remove everything from your body which is not organically belonging to the body. Suppose you had to do this. So everything that is not organically a part of your body, we're going to take out just for a minute, and we'll put them perfectly back after. But for this moment, we'll move out your earrings and your mascara and your false eyelashes and your fillings and any kind of metal in your body, whatever like this, your false fingernails, whatever it is, and whatever, weave-ons, everything coming off, your makeup coming off. Yeah? And then we do a certain measurement, and so only what is original for your body, living, we'll keep. And now we're going to move now to the mind. Everything that has been like a memory that wasn't there from the original, that is not part of original being. Everything you've acquired, all your opinions, your memories, your projections, your desires, your stories, everything that is not original to your being. We're just going to press ding, erase for a minute. Everything gone. Everything gone. Okay? So that we just back to ground zero for a moment. Just imagine we play this little game for a second. Okay? But the senses we're going to leave to function perfectly naturally. The senses will function perfectly naturally. Your hearing and seeing, all of that will be there because all this is natural. But any story you may have had, we're just going to leave them aside. Take out everything. Your ideas about your future, your belief systems, even the belief in God or in the devils or whatever in your life, everything, every kind of relationship that's formed in your mind that wasn't original to you. We're going to leave everything for a moment, okay? We can do this. And now, you are as you are. Remain as you are now. Okay? I can't take away your being. We cannot subtract your essence. We don't need, for a moment. It's a severe little exercise, but very natural. See for yourself now. This space that you are, whatever it is now. It's beyond thought. There's no sacred scriptures there, no holy cluster of concepts at all. You're entirely empty of it. But your senses are working. Breath is working. Your voice is there. Your hearing is here. The ability to touch and to feel is here. Everything is here. But your story, no. Identity, no. You can open your eyes and look around. But there's no assessment, no judgment about what you see. But somehow you're able to say, I think I like a coffee. Whatever comes, you can speak. But it's not going into some self-image, no self-image. So you can perceive, but there's no self-image. If somebody asks you, who were you yesterday? You don't know. Yesterday? I don't know. Who are you today? I don't know. And you can share. If you're in a state of distress, are you in a state of confusion? Are you concerned? Oh, when I go back, I don't want to go back like this. No. Just pay attention. What is here now?
No concern. No concern.
No concern.
I just want coffee.
You just want coffee. You just want the coffee.
Is it okay?
Coffee we can have. Yes, coffee.
Thank you.
Yes. Don't step away from this feeling for a moment. No? Enjoy. If it fade, let it fade. And also, can it fade? Can it actually fade? Because I've not asked you to imagine it. You have not imagined it. You have simply emptied your room. Okay? I didn't imagine, say, oh, imagine you're spacious. I just, no, just empty. Don't touch these things for a moment. And now you're here. Something is here that you don't have to keep being something. It's just here by itself. So it's effortless also.
Yeah.
And must feel natural.
Yeah, I have the access.
You have the
access to be it again. I think I have the access, the
ability.
Yeah.
To
it's
stay
there. I feel it's there.
Yes. but there's no opinions to be made of it. To say, I feel it is there, I feel it is not there. You're going to have to bring in the accountant again to say, oh yes, I think I can be there, maybe Tuesdays you can be there, and Wednesday's busy, maybe Thursday you can go. No, you don't need the accountant. By itself, is it something that can fade? Did it come from somewhere? This that is here, did it come, is it new? Did it come from somewhere? Or has it always been here?
Here.
It's just here.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
There is no doubt. So my invitation is, we are going to take lunch in a moment, move in this space. When you want your stuff back, okay, you can have them back. But just come to me first and tell me, Mooji, I want my stuff back. I want my worries. I feel very lonely without them, and I want this trouble. But until you do, just move. Have your lunch, enjoy whatever it is that is. But your tendencies and habits and stuff, all this, I'll keep them. Then you say, actually, I think I'm ready for them now. I've had enough of this exercise. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Okay, you understood me.
Huh?
You understood me.
I've understood what you're not.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see and feel what you are. Uncluttered, unveiled. You see? And this lightness of being, your family deserve to see this, isn't it?
They have
The
to.
people who love you and whatever, even people who maybe don't love you, doesn't matter. It belongs to them to see this also, rather than their projection on top of your projection.
I want to thank my friend Jackie that introduced you to me.
Yes. Don't hold on to too many intentions, though. Just because intention creates tension. Okay? So just move about, enjoy your freedom. Why not? You're free to be free, and you're free to be bound, as you like.
You mean I don't have to suffer anymore?
No, you don't have to suffer anymore, unless you want your stuff back. You don't have to. You were not made for suffering. That would be a cruel God who just made you just for suffering. So all these ones I made for joy, and this one I make just for suffering. Because if it made you for suffering, it would made you enjoy suffering. He made some things that enjoy doing bad things. There was a program, Enjoy Doing Bad Things. They say, you're feeling tired? You feel tired? And he put that ability, enjoy that, because I want them to have a slap when they really need to rest and they're trusting in their mind. Slap them and laugh and enjoy yourself. So he gave that role. And then when they say one day, I'm tired, I feel, look at her, she's so tired. Why I want to slap her? He says, slap her. No, I don't want to. Okay, come with me then. Good. Thank you. Very good. Okay, just one more now and we do. You come? Yeah.
Wow. Something is taking inside of me very, very powerful, and it put me over here in front of you. So, as you mentioned before, I met Ramakrishna in a powerful way, in a way that for a time I stayed with love and play with everything, and everything was so happy. And And now and then, I come in your presence on the internet and saw you. And I saw the Yoda within you. So now I'm here to become a Jedi like you are. So,
I'm a Jedi?
yes.
I like the sound of that.
For a while, grace, I don't know how to call it, you stayed with me, and I've seen beyond it. And then as I start to watching your satsangs, somehow everything in the unknown disappeared. And now I feel that it's still something in me that, as a personhood, I don't know how to call it.
Let me tell you something. It's a good point to make. And we have to, no? Because at a certain point, our egoic tendencies begin to trouble you. It has to trouble you. Because without troubling you, the aspiration to be free of it would not come. So the troubles are part of the whole process of unbecoming, in a way, that ego and moving back into your right place. So many people put a tremendous amount of energy to try and fix the mind, or to kill the mind, or to become a better person, or to become a stronger meditator or something. I would say to you, don't give so much energy to that. Rather, use your mind or use your time to clarify your rightful place, to see who you are. One is kind of negative, one more positive. One is based upon an assumption that you are imperfect, trying to become perfect. That is also an expression of consciousness. In the evolution of consciousness, in the great river of life, where we all believe we are this and conditioning. So it leaves us with a sense we are incomplete, searching for completeness. That's a big river. And most of the religions, we are flowing in this river. It is a great river, blessed by God. But there's also a path also that is pointing you that some beings, they start to feel, but if God is omnipresent, limitless, eternal, ever-present, it must be here now also. If it is here now, what prevents me from seeing it now? Why I must have to wait for 6 more years when I have the urge in me now? You understand? Some beings have this. Some beings, like if you say you are going to sign you up for an enlightenment course, it takes 12 years. People put up, sign thing, and do 12 years. If you say, I'm going to give 12 years to enlightenment, it's going to take you at least 12 years. Because the mind will use that, I got 12-year visa. So I'll use 12 years. And on the 11th year, the 11th month, the 11th hour, it will go, oh shit, I've wasted my opportunity. Oh my God. And do intense practice for the last hour. Because you're going to spend your 12 years and you didn't get it. I'd rather you don't do this. But more for those who feel that there is something here, not just there, but something here. Myself also didn't realize it was here, but just to do with my upbringing, religious upbringing also. I knew that God was here, like almost everywhere else but in me. And this is the grace of Papaji, because God brought me to Papaji in order to say, well, God is everywhere, but he's here also. And find him here first. Find him here, And somehow this is what took place. I am pointing you to something that, a realization that that which you're searching for is here. The only thing that may get into the way of that is a certain amount of immaturity within your mind. Immaturity would mean that there's still a strong identification with the body, and by strong identification with the body, it will make you feel more attracted to bodily things, to bodily pleasure, to bodily beliefs, to a bodily life, to bodily ambition. So I call that the effect of the earth mind and the earth body. For a while, we very much identify with our earth mind, earth body, meaning that you are citizens of the earth. You believe yourself, I'm a human being. We are here to find our purpose, to fulfill our dreams, and to get the things. And people are chanting to get their projections and what they desire. Thousands and thousands of practices are going on. Okay? But here I point you simply, there must be something here. Everything you look at seems to belong to time. Everything on this side of the eyes seems to belong to time. Time says, all this is mine. All you see, all you experience, all you remember, all that you desire, including the body that you need to enjoy it, one day will be gone. We know this thing. Even your thoughts are changing. Sometimes every day, sometimes every week, entire new series of concepts are flowing in. Is there anything in you which does not belong to time? Is there anything in you that is without effort? It just is. And there begins the real search for timeless existence. If everything here is just what I am, flesh, blood, bones, fat, okay, thoughts, belief, if this is all I am, then forget about all of this. Nothing you can do, everything is going one day soon. If not today, tomorrow, whatever time. And what can you do about it? Nothing. But there's more than that. That is the good news that I experience, not just believe. That first of all, that who you are truthfully is timeless. And that the life is an opportunity to discover this while your body is warm. Enjoy this. Even in this body you can begin to know this truth. You don't have to wait for the great death or whatever it's called or whatever that thing is, that you can know this. Countless beings have come and whose lives were a demonstration. Their lives were the proof that God exists and that truth is. It was a proof that was needed by thousands of followers, of thousands of people who are seeking to say, here is the evidence, blessed is the evidence. Blessed is the one whose life is the evidence of the truth. And we have amongst us not just a book, but a living book, a living being. Your call, actually. It's our call for this. What can make you fail? You see? Except we continue to dream on and sleep on. And who's responsible for that? I don't know. I speak to you because you're here. I speak to you because you're here. Some of you, your lives will change from this moment. You cannot go back to some old way, thankfully. And through your light, other beings will come to search for what they see in you. But who you are, I don't know yet. I'm very open to whoever comes and who has inside their heart this pulse for truth, who say, I don't know, where this comes from. Nobody in my family is religious even, but I'm gripped by something you say, and I really feel it flowing in my veins. I've got to find this out, Mooji, or something. I say, yes, come. Let's spend a little time looking. I think I have something for you. And the best thing about it, I'm very happy to be here and see you tasting the fruit of your own seeing, your own understanding, without pride, without fear. This is a mighty, a magnificent existence. Why? Because your being is magnificent. But if you don't discover, well, what to say, I don't know. It has to be discovered. Not enough belief. Belief has to convert into experience. You need not be speaking, I think, this is what I believe, this is what I think. No, you can sit and you can speak from your heart. When you speak from your heart, those who are true will hear you. And they won't convert what they have heard in their heart into mind food. So it doesn't matter if there's still something inside that feels a little bit, there's still something. Don't worry so much about that. Like I say, there are spots on the moon, but it doesn't affect its light. Don't give so much attention to little things. There's still a little piece, something here. Don't give so much attention. More put attention on what has the capacity to see all of these things and is not disturbed by them. Go deeper in. You don't need any vehicle to go there. And just look. Look at the tendency, the reflex to keep identifying with the body-mind and stop. Be a bit more detached with that, a bit less passionate about that. Look only with the sober eyes of seeing and keep confirming. But I'm in the unmoving place. The movements are seen. They're not judged, they're not evil, they're just seen and need not identify. The moment you identify, you take on their color. Stay colorless. Perceive everything, but in the expanse of your neutrality. Try it and see. I will tell you this. If there were not beings here, present here, who are destined or due to wake up, I don't think this gathering would happen. I don't know. If there was not one in whose heart these words completely melt into complete unity. Is it you? Thank you. Thank you. if there were not beings in this world who have this urge for self-discovery or to find God, I would not want to be here. It's only through beings who aspire for truth. You are the living human trees. You provide the oxygen for the life of human beings. Because the moment that light goes out, this show is finished. Your true heart is the light of this world. Don't let your mind hide it. Thank you. Very good. Thank you for today. Somebody will come today. In Avadutta, I read a few verses where they go. It says, I have no mother or father or brother. I have no wife or son or friend. You have no attachment or non-attachments. How then do you justify this anxiety of mind? O mind, there is neither the day of manifestation nor the night of dissolution. My continuous light neither rises nor sets. How could a wise one sincerely believe that the formless existence is affected by forms? It is not undivided, nor is it divided. It experiences neither sorrow nor joy. It is not the universe, nor is it not the universe. Understand that the self is eternally one. In me, there is no impurity such as attachments. There is no bodily pain for me. Understand that I am the self. I am unity. I am vast as space, like the sky above. O mind, my friend, what is the good of so much speaking? O mind, my friend, all of this has been made quite clear. I have told you what I know to be true. You are the ultimate reality. You are unbound like space. It does not matter where a yogi may die. It doesn't matter how he may die. He becomes absorbed in the absolute, as the space outside of a pot becomes absorbed in the outer space when the pot is destroyed. Whether he dies near a holy river or in an outcast's hut, whether he is conscious or unconscious at his death, he emerges into freedom, into unity alone. Om Namah Shivaya.
La ilaha